Well, my friends, the reverse split is coming. A lot of people have a lot of nonsense that they're saying, and some of the videos I've watched are complete BS. We're going to get into everything you need to know about this situation. Is it good? Is it bad? What's likely to happen to AMC? I highly recommend you guys share this video with everyone you know that owns AMC stock, because there's a lot of misrepresentation about what's going to happen with AMC or what's the most likely outcome. People that haven't even talked about AMC for 6-12 months are coming out of nowhere making a video, and they really have no idea what's been going on with this stock. So long story short, we're going to get into it. Take a listen to what I said earlier today at the 4 o'clock video that comes out every single day. We knew this was going to happen. Now, I've never been more convinced in my life that AMC stock is heavily manipulated, because we knew it was going to happen. But it was very weird. Take a listen. Something imminent is coming right around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, AMC stock is up 5% on the day. This is important. What's weird about this situation is AMC stock went up 5.62% on Friday. If you have been like me and you've watched AMC almost 2 years now, every single day, well, actually a little over 2 years now, every single day, then you know when something's weird. And today was very weird. Why did the stock go up 5.62%? right before this judge, Morgan Zern, ruled in favor of AMC? There's a couple possible scenarios to why that happened, but I think you could boil it down to some form of market manipulation. People got tipped off that this was going to happen, so market makers drove up the price of AMC to crash it back down. Now, does this mean AMC stock is going to stay down? I think there's some things that are very important to understand. One, AMC is very volatile, and you should expect the unexpected. I almost should have known this was going to happen. Matter of fact, I put almost $300 towards calls today, actually about 30 minutes before the markets closed, because I thought there was a chance that this could come out here in after hours and that it would be positive. But I guess so much for assuming, right? Now, the biggest thing you need to know, and the biggest misconception that I am seeing being talked about right now with AMC, is that AMC will automatically dump all of the shares that they're allowed to sell on the markets the day after the reverse split. Odds are that's not how this plays out. And I haven't heard anyone talk about this, so hopefully this makes some sense to you, because it's the most logical thing, at least in my personal opinion. What AMC is likely to do is to dilute us a little bit. Now, keep in mind, they're going to do a reverse split, a 1-for-10 reverse split. The share price is going to be in that high $30 range. They could sell 5% of the float, 10% of the float, and that's going to be hundreds of millions of dollars, right? It's going to be a lot of money. So they don't need to dump a super large amount of the float on the markets all at once. That's not going to happen. If it does, then yeah, we have a serious problem, and we'll need to talk about that. But that's probably not what's going to happen. If AMC can actually get, I mean Adam Aron and the executives, if they can get the price of AMC stock to rally, if they can get some of those shorts to cover on short positions, to really see another short squeeze, that's a lot better of a situation to go into and dilute shareholders. That sounds rough, that we finally get a short squeeze, AMC dilutes the stock. That's ultimately what I think they would want to see. They don't want to dump the stock, raise the amount of shares outstanding by, 10 times over again, right? Dilute us an effect of 10x when the stock is at depressed levels. they don't want to do that. And they don't have to do that. So I think this is very important to understand. The short thesis is crushed at this point. There is no logical reason to be short currently in AMC stock, especially after this proposal has went through. Now, that begs the question of what are the shorts going to do currently? Because the shorts are short, if you include the option activity, likely 100 or 200% of the free float. You got to keep in mind, the free float is really what's freely traded. So if retail investors own 80% of the float, there's around 140 million shares currently sold short. Well, that right there puts you over 100%. If you include some of the synthetic shorts that are out there via the options, your short interest of free float is likely in the hundreds of percent range. That's not tinfoil. That's not a theory. That's actual fact. Now, you can debate how much of the float is still owned by retail. If you say 50% of the float's owned by retail, and I think that's quite conservative, the short interest is still over 100%. Short interest of free float. That's important. So I think when you look at it in that kind of light, it starts to look a lot more bullish. Because at this point, the bad news is here. You've seen that drop. 25.38%. There's nothing else that is uncertain about this. The judge already approved it. AMC's going to do a reverse split. They're going to dilute us. The dilution has to be priced into AMC stock right now. It just has to be. That's the whole point of this, right? So maybe there can be fluctuations depending on how much stock actually gets sold, at least on that first selling. If it's 50% of the flow or 100% of the flow, well, that's a lot different than 5% of the flow. That could be one of those situations where investors say, hey, AMC is really being diligent with how they raise shares. There's no expiration of these shares. They could raise some now, and dilute us a little bit now, or when we ultimately get the reverse split. And then they could wait until AMC is doing much better, maybe going through a short squeeze, dilute us a little bit more. It could be 2 years from now, and you get another capital raise. So it doesn't all have to happen at once, and I highly doubt they want to instantly crush AMC stock. That's not what they want to do. That's in nobody's best interest. It's not in the company's best interest. That's not in the executive's best interest. That's not in our best interest. That's only in the best interest of the shorts, in which I really don't think Adam Aaron and the management should have went about this the way that they did. I thought that they would ultimately cancel this court, that was a court proceeding, that was a possibility now that they were profitable, that they could raise capital some other way. They could just do an outright vote to raise shares, call it 30 million, call it 50 million, whatever. So I thought there was something else that was going to happen. Even considering the judge already denied this once before. But now we're here. So I think that's important to realize, and I think the short thesis is over, long story short. There's no reason to be short in AMC. So are they going to cover? They're going to cover. The data on AMC has never looked this good. Now, a couple other things that I've seen really misconstrued out there by multiple videos that I've seen. The New York Stock Exchange does not need 10 days or 2 weeks or 2 months notice to actually do a reverse split. 2 days, 2 business days. That's all they need. So this could in theory happen next week. 2 days, not 2 weeks, not 10 days, not 2 months. 2 days, okay? So this could happen a lot sooner than some of us expect. Usually it doesn't happen that fast unless the company urgently needs to raise capital, but that is a possibility. Now, if you take a look at AMC's actual data here, we'll go ahead and pull up AMC. I was busy with some real estate stuff, guys. That's why this video is coming out so late, or if you're seeing it the next tomorrow, essentially, on August 12th. That's why it took a while to get this video out. And really crappy day to be busy with other stuff. But nonetheless, Let's break down some of the numbers here, okay, guys? So you have a short interest of free float at 27.5%. You got $707 million worth of short positions in AMC. Shares out on loan, 198.3 million. Days to cover at 8.4. 3-month cost borrow fees at 253.22%. Utilization at 82%. And short score at 93. Now, the short score has never been this high. Not back in January of 2021. Not back in June of 2021. It's never been this high. The days to cover has never been this high. The short interest of free float has never been this high. These things are extremely elevated. So we're not talking about a little bit of short interest or a couple shorts here or there. We're talking about a lot of shorts. Okay. So do keep that in mind. Interactive brokers, cost bar fees 243%. Cost bar max 360%. Cost bar minimum 336%. Cost bar average 350%. So across the board, very elevated levels of short interest. Now, I do also think that kind of the FTD situation is being overplayed. Its actual significance here. Now, yes, failure to delivers are very important. That's yeah, sure. You do tend to see FTD spikes before and during a short squeeze. That tends to happen. AMC is seeing the highest level of FTDs. But I don't look at this as a kind of one-stop shop for a short squeeze thesis. This is simply like the cherry on top, right? You need the ice cream. You need the breadcrumbs if you're doing a little fried ice cream. You need the drizzle. You need the sprinkles. It's the cherry on top. Like they say in The Big Short. He's all the dude wants is the cherry. The rest of them get the sundae. Okay? If you guys have seen that movie, great movie. Check it out, but don't go short everything in the markets after you watch it. You'll want to go short crazy after you watch that one. But I don't look at this as it's means too much is really the long story short. But it does mean some shares need to be bought back, right? Right now, what we're seeing, it's about a half a day's worth of trading volume worth of FTDs currently. What you've seen today for August 11th was 12.7 million FTDs that come due per the T plus 35 settlement time. Or delay after 35 days, they have to be bought back. They have to be covered on, essentially. And 11.6 million failure to delivers. Now, what I think could actually be a little bit more impactful to AMC could actually be the lack of kind of manipulation that we might start to see as some of these firms just don't short the stock naked as much anymore. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to naked short AMC given that we just got the big bearish catalyst and it's likely priced in. To really see a huge crash from here at these prices we're now at, under $4 per share, something really bad would have to happen. It's priced in. The market's priced things in. And you should understand that. So I think the next big catalyst is how much of the float actually does get sold short or not sold short, but diluted and raised via capital from AMC. You guys understand what I'm trying to say. And then ultimately, when do shorts cover on their short positions? It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Now, I think this will have a effect on AMC as far as publicity is concerned as well. Retail investors or really just hedge funds and institutions, anyone that is looking at a stock to trade, well, it can influence a stock quite a bit. So I think that's another aspect that could be kind of important. I kind of want to see how many views and likes and comments and all of that this video gets, because I want to try to gauge how some of the investor attention might be around this. You're starting to see AMC MOAS, things of that nature trending on Twitter again, as far as when I'm making this video. So it could drive more investor attention, and that could help balance out the stock. It could help cause the stock to rally. Now, this in and of itself really doesn't change anything, right? You got the conversion, sure. You haven't got any shares actually sold short yet. Or I keep saying sold short. You haven't had any shares actually sold by AMC yet to raise capital. That's the next big question that we need answered. But I don't think this is the end all be all. I do think over the next couple of weeks, it makes the situation a lot more prone to see a short squeeze. But I don't think this is the end all be all. And it actually could free AMC up to move a lot more. And you got to remember, a stock can only go to zero. You're at $3.92 right now. Odds are the next big move is higher. Sure, could you fall again? That's possible. Could you fall, on Tuesday of next week? Sure, that's possible. But the likely move here is shorts cover. AMC's profitable. There's no reason to be short in AMC. Let's get out of our short positions. That's my opinion. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a fortune teller. If you're in the trading community, then you know that very well. This is like $300, just worst timing, probably the worst trade by far that I've ever made. Terrible. But yeah, it's heavily manipulated. We got duped, okay? Definitely thought some good things were coming here in after hours at the very least, not 25% down. So let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of that good jazz. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. Trust me, we don't just trade AMC, so that was a really bad trade. Not all of them are that bad. So there is that. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekends, and I will see you in the next one.